Is there a way to know if people are here? Oh, it says 0 viewers. Got it. No one's here, but we're live.
Okay, cool. I don't know. It was really hard for me to tell because the mug was so big that.
Yeah.
But
no one's here. There's chocolate.
oh, this is weird.
What's it doing?
Oh, I see. First of all, it says there's 0 viewers, but 3 people have said hello in the little question field. And the way that the question field works, hi everyone, is you don't type. You click the question you're answering, right? And then you answer it, and then it like bookmarks in the video like where you've answered what question.
Yeah, but we can just talk. Just people can use that just to talk to us.
Totally. I just clicked select, and it was like currently answering. So.
Oh, so then there'll be a little like notation in the video.
Right. So everybody's saying hi to us. Oh, there they all are. 27 viewers.
Hi, everyone.
What do you know?
We're famous.
Man, look at that natural light. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, we look like beautiful princesses.
Right? Don't look too bad. Not too shabby. How's everyone doing? I feel like we were just doing this on the 24-hour stage up.
I know.
It was a lot crazier then, though.
Let's scroll down so we can see the new people. Oh, there's just one. Just Darlene. Hey, everyone. We're not actually starting till 3, so you have 4 minutes to stare at us.
Stare at us drinking our coffee. No, if you want, you can ask us questions or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
We can talk to you while we gear up for our coming out stories.
Look pretty.
Did I look pretty?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was looking at the camera. Wait, does the new person come at the top? Oh, I think it goes at the top. Wait.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
it does.
new things at the top.
It
Okay.
does. This is weird, says Faith.
You're right.
It is. It is. This is the first time we've ever used this, and supposedly, after we finish, when we go off air, there will be a
video.
Yeah, a recorded video of us for YouTube to watch. So it seems to make a lot of sense, but we're new to it, and you got me saying and. I'm really glad you feel happy inside. You know what I mean?
Did anyone come out today?
Oh, yeah. Did anyone come out today? Saw a few people tweeted us that they came out.
Did anyone come out before today?
Is anyone in here gay?
47 people. Who are you all?
Wow.
I really didn't think it was going to be
51.
this.
There's so many humans.
I did not think you would all care this much. Wait, this.
What? How is this happen? How is it? That's bizarre. Maybe we should just select. I don't know what it's going to do to the video, but maybe we should select them so they go away.
I wonder what that means.
Oh, we can.
Maybe people liked it or whatever, so it went to the top.
Oh.
That's probably what happened. Hi.
Hi, Maeve.
59 viewers. Come on.
I love it.
Why are there so many people here?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, did you come out today?
Oh, Nicole did. Nicole tweeted at us.
Well done, Nicole Frankel.
Nicole, was it to your brother? I can't remember. We had 2 people tweet, and I thought maybe Nicole was just came out and jumped. No, to your dad.
If anyone has questions, feel free to ask us. There's a bit of a delay.
Mm-hmm.
A big bit. a large bit of a delay.
Zoe's Soup's gay. Also, we're going to do our best to answer questions and talk to you in real time, but just so you know what we're dealing with, there's this weird question bar down the right-hand side that, like, puts things in out of order. So,
yeah,
if we miss you, that's why, but we're going to look as much as we can.
Yeah.
Ah, nice job, M. Gill. I wish I knew there was a National Coming Out Day when it was time for me to come out.
I don't know if there was back in the day.
Yeah, no, when I read about it, it said it was started in the 1980s.
Oh.
National Coming Out Day.
I didn't hear about it until last year.
I know. Well, maybe the internet's just been helping make it a bigger deal. Like, how was I supposed to find out about National Coming Out Day without the internet?
Do you ever think about the impact you've had on people? You're both an inspiration.
Thanks, Lima. Is that how you say your name? Sorry, I read it like Lima.
Yeah.
Lima, Peru, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
As
opposed to Lima.
I think about it because sometimes I feel really shitty and not comfortable and confident about the way that I like dress and how I feel in public and stuff. And it like bothers me, but it bothers me more so because I know that it affects so many tiny people in the world. Like I think about myself going through a TSA checkpoint and somebody like making a comment, and then as far as like me, I'm like, ugh, that's annoying. But then I think about all of the fucking people who have to go through that, who like don't have the ability to brush it off, and it makes me really upset. So I'm glad that we're doing what we do.
Yeah, I'm also glad we're doing what we do. I've been thinking a lot about my experience coming out. Obviously, how could I not? I've been writing about it for books and talking about it in interviews and all sorts of things like that. And I don't know. I think it's really special. I think it's super special that something that was really difficult for me to go through winds up making it easier for many other people. You know, I think that if I could like look back, or like if I could be my 17-year-old self, and if I knew that like me going through it would mean that I could help people, I think that I would have like been like, okay, I'll do this.
Yeah. Also, just FYI, if you're watching this, you'll have to rewind a little bit to get the beginning of that question because forgot to push select. So.
Oh, right. Okay,
oops.
Cool. We should tell the Twitter land that we're live.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because boys like a little more. I just need.
Do you have your phone? Do you want to do it on your phone, or do you have like a?
I just wanted to grab the link here. Here we go. Right. Will that copy the whole thing?
I think this is the link.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Sorry, everyone. We'll be back in a second.
Should I hashtag that?
Oh yeah.
National Coming Out Day.
Yeah, stoked on the National Coming Out Day hashtag being like a #1 trending topic or whatever you call it. What do the Twitters call it? Okay.
All right. Let's see. Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Let's answer that.
How long did it take you realizing you were gay to starting to tell people? For me, it was kind of immediate, but I didn't realize that I was gay when I started telling people. I just was dating a girl, and for me, it's always kind of been like I'm a people who likes people, so I'm dating a girl, and I should tell people I'm dating a girl. And like slowly but surely, that turned into me recognizing that I identified as gay. But you know, the second that I started dating someone, I felt weird about not telling people, so I just did.
Yeah, it was pretty quick for me too. Not quite as quick, I don't think, because I started like not dating, you guys, we were just making out. I tried to make it like sound all official. That's what I wanted it to be then. I started making out with this girl in, I would say, like springtime of my senior year in high school. And then it was Thanksgiving the following year that I came out to my parents, but I told some people at college before I came out to my parents. And then I also told some people after that. So probably like, I don't know, what is that math? 6 months, 8 months or so. And I really hadn't held on to it as any kind of identity before that. I had like thought and wondered, and I think mostly pushed down feelings.
Yeah.
But from the moment I was like, oh, I have feelings, it wasn't that long after.
Yeah, I like this one. I'm debating trying to come out to my parents again about being trans. They didn't take it too well the last time I tried, and we all sort of pretend it never happened.
Mm.
I like that because I think it happens a lot, you know, as far as coming out, whether it be having to do with gender identity or sexuality or what have you. I think that happens so much where parents ignore it and maybe they didn't respond appropriately, or you don't know if you should bring it up again. And I think it's really hard to be able to feel comfortable when no one's talking about it, you know? So I think that if you want to bring it up again to your parents, I think that you should. And I think there will be a lot of difficult conversations surrounding it, especially if they already didn't have like a great time with it. But I think the more and more you continue to talk about it with them, the closer you'll get to a place where they're more understanding and where you can talk about it more openly.
I agree. And I think that, you know, if the first time that you came out to them as trans, you did it in conversation, maybe try a different way in this time, whether it's by letter, and not, this is going to sound like a shameless plug, but I don't mean it that way at all. But something like our book, this is a book for parents of gay kids. Our book has an entire chapter, actually the longest chapter in the book, addresses gender identity. And it was written by a mother and her transgender son. And it tackles a lot of very common questions that your parents may have that it sounds like they are not going to ask. So rather than even saying like, let's talk about this again, you could say, hey, I know I told you this thing. I know we haven't talked about it that much. There's this book. And I think that maybe it would help answer some questions that you have, but I'd love to talk to you about it if you get the chance to read it.
Yeah, look at that. Chapter 7. It's nearly 30 pages. It's the longest chapter. Most of them are around 20. So write them a letter and send them the book. It's cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have.
I saw a cool one about funny reactions. I know they all keep going different. Oh, yeah, but if we go to the top, it'll be the ones people want to hear. Okay,
so what are the funniest / best reactions you got from a friend or family member when you came out?
Oh, this is a story that I actually never tell, so this will be fun. But when I came out to my mom and my dad around the same time, and then my mom told my whole family without telling me. So when I called them to be like, I have a thing to tell you, they all already knew. And then the first time that I saw them after that, we all went to dinner, and my aunt got some sort of seafood dish, and she was like, no mussels, please. And so she was like, no mussels, please. And my uncle was like, oh, are you gay now too? And then I laughed and he laughed, and we looked at each other and we were like, heh, heh, heh. And everyone else was like, and I was like, no like it's just a joke, you guys calm down. But it was like really funny, and it was like a tiny moment we had that nobody else could get on board with because they were so panicked. But
it makes you feel so good as like you in that moment.
Yeah,
right? Like
I was like, oh, thank God.
Even knowing just one or two people can chuckle and like make light of it is so nice. The story that comes to my mind immediately is when I came out to my college roommates for the first time. I had 2 roommates. So there were 3 of us, and we were like tripled in a double was how they referred to it. So it was a bunk bed, and I got the single bed somehow. And I think maybe a month had passed in school about that. And I had my wall, you know, everybody gets like their space of the wall to decorate in dorms. And my space of the wall was just like Anita Franco and Tori Amos and Liv Tyler and like random girls just smoking cigars that I would like cut out of magazines. And I don't know why I thought I was being subtle, but I wasn't. And my roommate Mary left to go brush her teeth in the hall bathroom. And when Megan and I were alone in the room, somehow the wall, what we referred to as the wall of girl, came up. And she was like, by the way, is there a reason that you have a million girls on your wall? And I was like, I'm gay. And I just kind of said it. And like, she didn't, it was one of my easier coming out moments because I felt like she wasn't going to care and she didn't care. And then Mary, like on cue, walks in with like the toothbrush hanging out of her mouth. And she was like, what's going on? And Megan was like, well, since you left, Kristen turned gay. And Mary was like, well, I'm never leaving to go brush my teeth by myself ever again.
I wouldn't either,
yeah,
to be fair.
She didn't want to miss out. She was like, the whole person's identity changed while I was gone.
I love that story.
Yeah, it was great. My roommates were a huge blessing in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Ooh, coming out on Facebook.
This is us reading questions.
I know we're reading questions. Sorry. Oh, oops, that one's done.
Yep, that one's done.
That one's done. I want to answer the Facebook one.
Okay, we'll answer the Facebook one, and then we'll read our stories and talk some more.
Okay, cool. Thinking about coming out on Facebook. I've already come out to the important people in my life. I'm just iffy coming out on Facebook since it's a larger audience. I think it's a great idea, personally. I mean, I think there's that segue between all of the people who think that you're not gay and now you are gay, and you have to come out to people that you wouldn't come out to. You don't care that they know, and you don't care that they have any idea about who you're dating. But it's it turns into a real serious coming out moment if you have to do everyone individually, and Facebook just circumvents that whole thing. Yeah. I like it. I think it's great. I think you're lucky to have it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great too if you feel comfortable with it. I mean, that's really the long and short of it is, too, a lot of people, I think it's super appealing because then you don't have to have all these individual conversations, which are honestly one of the most frustrating parts about coming out, is that you have to one by one step through them. So I think if you're comfortable with it, it's a great thing. I think that you'll more than likely see so much more support than any negative response. People on the internet, generally speaking, like to rally behind people when they open up about themselves. So I think that it will be a good thing. If you're afraid to do it, though, there's no reason why you have to do it right away. Wait till you're comfortable. Yeah,
for sure. But if it's just I don't think this should be really a talking point, even because I date who I want to date. I think you should go for it. And I also think that it's a nice place to start a conversation, because there are a lot of people who probably wouldn't react the way that they really feel or the way that they want to react if you did have to come out to them in person, who would then have a minute to be like, oh my God, wait, this is really cool. This is amazing. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And they have that at least 4 seconds to say something. Whereas in real life, a lot of times people don't. So I think it's really cool. And I think if it's something you want to do, you should go for it.
Yeah. Thumbs up. What a great day to do it.
Right? National Coming Out Day.
Got a reason and everything.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to read. So for those of you who might not know, this is our book that we just released. It's called This is a Book for Parents of Gay Kids. That whited out circle here that says a question and answer guide to everyday life.
I just flipped off the camera.
That's nice. That'll be great. And the book came out on September 9th. It's a book that is for parents whose children have come out to them as LGBTQ. And Dannielle and I share our stories in the book, as well as giving a bunch of advice. And there are also stories from parents and young people that apply to different themes, telling other people initial questions, religion, gender, etc. So we thought today would be a really cool day to share our stories with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to kick Dannielle off.
Center yourself.
Bye.
Center yourself so they can see your facial expression.
And I'm going to center myself. This is weird. I've never done anything like this before. Okay, so I'm going to read to you my coming out story. This is what it looks like. So yeah, it says Kristen's coming out story. No spoilers. Don't read ahead. Okay. Mashed potatoes, overcooked stuffing, and an antibiotic-infused butterball turkey. These are the markers of the American holiday known as Thanksgiving. Unless, of course, you were at my house on November 26th, 1998. If that were the case, you would have also found a slightly tipsy wine-drinking mom, a smiling, storytelling dad, a sullen, prepubescent little sister, and me at the age of 17, clad in Salvation Army-sourced clothing, about to tell my parents that I was gay. First, some background. Until my senior year in high school, I identified as a straight girl with very close girlfriends and a deep adoration for Liv Tyler. My very observant mother, however, had asked me countless times if I was a lesbian. My answer was always the same. No, Mom, calm down and stop asking me. Then, in the fall of 1997, I met a girl. We became friends. We hung out. We kissed. We liked kissing. We did some other stuff. This happened a few times, and then that thing happened. That, oh dear God, my stomach is squeezed and my heart is in my throat thing. I liked this girl. In addition to my oh my God, I'm gay panic, I was horrified that my mother had been right all along. As we all know, telling your parents that they are right about anything is almost impossible between the ages of 11 and 24. I didn't breathe a word of my gayness to anyone but my close friends for nearly a year, which brings us back to the Thanksgiving Day surprise. Once my sister had left the table, I began to complain about an awful translation of the Bible that had been given to me by a relative. I said something like, they make it sound like God hates gay people, but that's a load of BS. My mom looked up from her stuffing, her eyes troubled by my angry tone, and asked for the 100th time, "Kristin, is there something you want to tell us?" Then it just happened. I dug my fingers into my palm, mustered up as much teenage courage as I could, and answered, "Yes, I want to tell you both that I am gay." Silence. The first thing that my parents said to me, and the thing I will always remember, was that I was their daughter and they would always love me. For that I was, and still am very thankful. After this initial reaction, however, my mother began what would be a very long journey in reconciling her love for her child with her deeply instilled religious beliefs. The first few years were very hard. My mother and I fought a lot, she cried a lot, and I yelled even more. Through all of it, though, we never stopped loving each other. Over time, the yelling calmed into a dialogue. She allowed herself to meet my girlfriend. Our conversations progressed, and she began to ask me questions. Slowly, girlfriends were invited over for dinner, and my mother and I found common ground amid differing beliefs. The thing about coming out is that it isn't one moment at a Thanksgiving dinner table. It's a process that takes patience, understanding, and compassion. It is different for everyone. All we can do is share as much of ourselves as we feel comfortable with, and work diligently at accepting who we are, with or without the understanding of those around us. Thank you. Dannielle, would you like to share your coming out story?
Standing ovation.
She had to stand up to get to the chairs. So.
I did have to stand up to get to the chairs. Do you want to answer questions between mine, or do you want to just read mine and then questions?
Let's see. I feel like, oh, look at all these lovely questions.
I know, they're all so good.
All right, let's answer 2 questions
Okay.
and then we'll do your story.
Okay. Did you see, too, that you really liked? I was just, like, looking at the boxes. I didn't really look at the questions.
No, I didn't. I just saw that 11 people liked this, so I thought.
Oh.
So we're going to answer 2 questions and then we'll have Dannielle read her coming out story. Cool? Cool.
Cool.
Okay, so let's answer this question, which is, I've already come out to a lot of my friends, but I haven't to my parents yet. Is it okay not to tell them for a while? I'm not afraid they'll react badly. I just have no real desire to. Is that bad?
I don't think it's bad.
I don't either.
I think coming out, regardless of who it is to, that you are doing the outcoming.
Outcoming.
I think you need to be comfortable, and I don't just mean like comfortable with yourself, because it seems like you're very comfortable and confident about who you are, but it's like, if you have no desire to come out to them, I don't know why you would. We all have different relationships with our families and our parents and whoever, and I think that just staying true to who you are and like how you want to handle your private life, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's
life,
totally
your personal
fine.
life.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that you tell them when you want to tell them, when you feel comfortable telling them. And if you come out to them and they say, "Why didn't you tell me?" You just explain that at the point that you were at, you weren't at a place where you wanted to communicate that with them. But that doesn't change how you feel about them. It doesn't change how much you love them. Yeah. A lot of times we kind of have to work through some of our own feelings and our own stuff to get to a place where we're comfortable sharing it with particular people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that like having your friends supporting you and surrounding you for a little while before you talk to your family is completely normal. And you're certainly not the only one who is waiting on that. So yeah. I definitely think it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. I like this one that is not a question, but with a question mark. You guys should make a video with Hannah Hart. We just made a video with Stevie. Did you see that?
Yeah, we did.
Bobby, Sassy Bob.
Stevie Bobby, Sassy Booby. Sassy Booby.
Sassy Booby.
Sassy Booby. We made a video with Sassy Booby. So
Stevie, she was the best. We had the fucking best time with her. And I imagine we would have the best time with Hannah too, but we don't know her, and we do know Stevie.
Yeah, tell her to call us.
Yeah, let her know. We're waiting by the phone.
All right, would you like to read your coming out story?
I would love to.
Okay.
Let me just done this question.
Okay, done. All right, I'm leaving. Center yourself.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you left and it got so bright on my face, I turned into a vampire. Also, have you ever seen anyone with more trouble moving a chair? I did so much social media while you were reading your story. Look, the farther I go back, the whiter I am. Okay. I'll get closer, I guess. I don't know why it's... Can you close that curtain just a tiny bit?
Yeah, of course I can.
It's blowing out my face.
Diva alert. How's that?
That's way better. I just want you to be able to see me, so... All right. I'll hold it right here so you can tell I'm reading from a book. I told my mom I was gay while we were making jewelry in the living room. I was 19. We were sitting on the floor placing weird green rocks on some sort of thick fishing line, and I said, "Mom, I have to tell you something. I'm dating someone." and it's a girl. She immediately screamed, "That's okay, Ellen's gay and I love Ellen," referring, of course, to Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen Page didn't exist at the time. She probably wasn't alive. How old is she? Do you know how old she is?
Ellen Page?
Yeah, like 15?
15, yeah.
15? I don't know. Anyway, she wasn't around yet. So it was Ellen DeGeneres. I didn't have much of a response after that. She asked me a few questions about the girl I was dating and suggested we make her a necklace. I think many people have that general sense of relief right after they come out to their parents. For 1 second, I felt like it was totally over and I would never have to do it again. Boy, was I wrong. Not even 2 days passed before my mother called me in tears, begging that I not cut my hair short or start wearing tracksuits. While other people might have been offended by her ignorance, I was just scared. I tried to explain to her that I wasn't planning to change anything about myself or the way that I lived. It was hard, though, because I was only 19 years old. I had no clue who I was or who I was going to be in the years to come. It took a number of years before my mother stopped asking me to wear dresses and stopped wondering if I was going to end up with a man. She asked me why I didn't want to get married, which confused me because I did want marriage. I just didn't want to marry a man, which to her I think meant I didn't really want to get married. She wanted to know why I didn't want kids. Again, I did. She wanted to know why I didn't want a normal life. That's in quotes, by the way. All of her questions really confused me. I felt terrible, lost, and hurt, and I thought, she's right. What's wrong with me that I don't want to be normal and happy? Why am I making this harder for myself? The experience that I had with her was in part why I wanted to write this book. I wondered how things might have been different if my mother had known the effect her words would have on me. Did she know how it felt to be asked, "Why don't you ever want a family?" Maybe a book like this would have helped our conversations, if even just a little bit. Maybe we'd be closer now. Eventually, with the help of my friends and the rest of my family, I realized my mom's opinions were her own, that they weren't a reflection of my reality, and that I could be happy with who I was and who I am. I had to go on my own journey to discover who I was and who I wanted to be for the rest of my life, but I know it would have been a quicker and easier path had my mom had the tools to talk to me. Thank you. That was just a sitting ovation.
Sorry, I stood now. Will you hold your book up and like you're reading it and smile? It's impossible for me to take good pictures while people are reading things. Thank you.
That's how you pose for a picture, everyone. Select done. Somebody asked how to pose for a picture.
Oh, let me open up the...
Oh, yeah, you can open them. I think once you're sitting by me,
yeah,
I won't be as washed out. Hey-o. Yeah.
Maybe it is. No, it got brighter.
Yeah.
I'll close it a little bit. Sorry. Gosh, it's so hard to make live videos.
Yeah. Live videos, we can't futz with stuff.
All right. Okay, so we read our coming out stories.
Yay, and now we have 20,000 questions.
Yeah, so let's we'll hang out for another 10 minutes or so and we'll answer questions and talk to you all.
I want to stay longer.
Longer than 10 minutes?
I want to stay forever. It's so fun to talk to the internet. Okay. Do you want to go here?
Yeah.
All right. How do you tell people you know that you're gay even though you haven't dated anyone yet?
Oh, such a good question.
Such a good question. And I mean, you're attracted to people without dating them. You know what I mean? You get crushes. So
yeah.
I feel like
that's enough.
How do people not understand that? I'd love to talk to the people who are like, but you haven't dated anyone, so.
Yeah, what does that even prove? Like, you have to touch a vagina to know you like a vagina?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Strange.
Or, like, how about what if that doesn't determine your attraction at all?
Right.
Because, like, if you're attracted to human beings, you know them before you date them. And you know how your heart feels and your brain feels.
Yeah, so I don't understand why you would need that. The experience of going to the movies with someone to know that you would like to go to the movies with someone.
Right. And if they
mean
dating in that capacity, it makes no sense. And P.S. if they mean you haven't hooked up with anybody or you haven't had sex with anybody you couldn't know, that's also completely a moot point because you can know who you're attracted to before having physical connections with that person.
People get married without having ever hooked up in any way.
Yeah.
So it's not a valid argument in my opinion, but I think that you can just express that you have attractions and you understand those attractions and that you understand your own feelings and that's how you understand your identity.
Yeah, and you can say, it's different for everyone and I understand if you needed to date someone to know that you were attracted to them, but that isn't how I experience the world. And leave it at that,
Yeah. All right.
Done.
Done. Maybe it's hard to click those. Oh. Wait a second. I came out at the start of summer to my class during a presentation on Ellen Page. They clapped really loudly and nobody ever mentioned it again. I think that's a positive thing, right?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think that like if your close friends haven't said anything, then you might want to say like, hey, remember that thing I did? Does anybody have any questions for me? But I think that like overall the larger school community probably isn't going to go out of their way to say things because...
Yeah, well, and I think that it's almost better that they're not saying anything because it's like it's a moot point for them. You date who you date and it doesn't have to become your entire identity unless you want it to. And a lot of people do. I mean, we don't have the option of it not being our entire identity. So, but I think, yeah, like Kristen said, if you want to bring it up with your close friends, you totally should. And just be like, remember when I did an entire presentation on Ellen Page? First of all, can I get more congratulations on doing a presentation on Ellen Page?
Right.
Second of all, let's talk about it. Ask me questions, even if you have to force it.
Yeah. And if you want to talk about it again, just write your second paper also on Ellen Page.
There you go. I just realized my celebrity couple name with Ellen Page would be Dannielle Page.
Oh, that's good. Y'all should get together.
I'll let her know.
Dannielle Page. What's this? Oh, I like this one.
Cool.
My older brother and I are both gay because we both want to start bringing our significant others to family events. We agreed that this is about time we come out to my grandmother. Do you think it will be overwhelming for her if we both come out to her today?
I think you should. I think if you are both ready to come out today, it's a fantastic day to do it. And I think you can also blame it on National Coming Out Day.
Blame it.
Yeah. We
agree.
had to because
you're not allowed to be gay and not tell people today. It's a crime. So grandma.
We didn't want to go to jail.
I think that, I think that it might be a little bit overwhelming for her to receive that information from both of you at the same time, but I certainly don't think that that makes it the wrong decision at all. I think that coming out in general is an overwhelming experience for some people.
For sure.
And I think that it would put the other one of you in a weird position if you're the one that didn't come out. If one of you comes out before the other, then the other one has to like later on be like, by the way, grandma.
Yeah. Also, if one of you came out today, the other one would be like, would it be overwhelming for me to come out within the next week? And then would it be overwhelming? My sister just came out last month. Would it be overwhelming because my brother just came out a year ago? Like you're gonna think it's overwhelming until you're both out and you're like, oh, okay, so it's gonna be the way it is regardless of when.
Right. I think doing it together is good, and then you have each other's support.
Yeah.
Too. If it feels it probably will feel a little weird unless your grandma's the coolest grandma on the planet Earth. It's probably gonna feel a little bit odd. It always does when you communicate your identity to somebody in like a conversation. And I think it'll be great for you both to act as each other's sounding boards after that moment is over. And then you have tons of time to go back and readdress the situation with your grandma and talk to her about it as time passes. So I think go for it.
I agree. Also, this is like the webcast with the most questions in the whole world. Okay. Ooh, 10 pluses. Guys, what do these things mean?
10 pluses?
Yeah, this one has 10 pluses.
I think that people in the room are like, yeah, that question.
Yeah, but like, why isn't it a star or like a heart or like why has it got to be a plus?
I don't know, but 11 people now. So.
Oh, great. Okay, well, select. My mom read my journal, found out I was gay, and completely outed me. How do I deal with this when I'm not ready to come out and just want to pretend it never happened? Not cool, Mom.
Not cool at all. Also, Trey's head just was like off the couch. He was like, what'd I do?
Man, our parents really take things into their own hands sometimes when they shouldn't.
Literally.
Yeah. Huh? First of all, give them this book wherein it says, don't out your child.
Yeah.
It isn't. We're not that rude about it. But I think I just want to say, like, on behalf of the community, as someone who's standing up next to you, I want to say I'm really sorry that happened to you and that moment was ripped from your paws. It's not fair. And I think that you absolutely have a place to say, Mom, I don't like that everyone knows how I... Did you see this?
Oh, I saw it. I was waiting to answer it next.
Yeah. Okay, well... I think it's okay to say something to your mom and say that you didn't appreciate the way that it was handled, and if it's okay with her, you'd like to not tell more people because you aren't comfortable quite yet.
I agree, and I mean, I think that letting your mom know that what she did really hurt you is important.
Absolutely.
She's wrong. And I think that, like, I don't know, for me, when I was a young person, it was really hard for me to comprehend that my mom could do things that were wrong. I mean, like, I knew I was angry about them, but I didn't ever think that, like, as a young person, I could tell her that what she had done was wrong. And you can. And I think that if all you want to do now is say that that really hurt your feelings and that you don't want to discuss it until you're ready and leave it there, that's okay. You deserve some time. It feels very upsetting when you're outed, not only outed, but outed by your mom.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be on the other side of the fence for a hot second, I'm not excusing your mother's behavior at all, but maybe giving you a tool or two to help forgive a little piece of it. A lot of times parents just really panic and they feel like they don't know a part of their kid's life and they can't let it go. You know, it's like the same like seed of emotion as when you just like have to text somebody that you have a crush on again. You're like, you know, you're not supposed to, but you're just like, oh, and you do it and you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's like the same kind of seedling, but in a very different context. And I think that your mom was probably concerned about some stuff, wondering, feeling maybe like you weren't talking to her as much as you used to. Who knows? And I'm sure that part of her knows that what she did was wrong. And hopefully she'll get to a place where she can apologize to you and eventually understand what kind of a position that put you in.
And also, I think that her own fear probably jumped into play, and she probably couldn't for 1 second imagine hiding that from you, that she knew.
Yeah.
And her outing you could have very well come from a place of like, look, everyone loves you. Look, you're gay and we all love you. Look. So it could have come from a well-meaning place, but it was hurtful. And I think it's totally okay, like Kristin said, to be like, hey, Mom, that wasn't cool.
Yeah. You take your time with it. You're in charge of this situation. As much as you feel like you're not, you now are. You've been outed and it sucks, but now you can say, I'm not talking about it.
It's your identity.
Done. Why don't we answer this question? 28 people more had I given them a chance. All do agree that Dannielle is a babe. So I think that question is addressed to me.
Okay.
Can you look at me here? Yeah, she's a babe.
Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you, everyone.
You're a babe.
Yay! I want to answer it. Can we? Well, now it only has 12, so I'm gonna let it grow a little bit.
I hope it stays at 12.
Okay, now I'm gonna do it just so we don't have to worry. Can we all agree that Kristin is also a babe? I want you to know that I was gonna say, but Kristin's a babe too, without anyone ever bringing it up. So I already thought Kristin was a babe. So whatever, I thought Kristin was a babe before all of you.
We're very different kinds of babes.
We are very different kinds of babes, which is why we have such a successful business.
It has nothing to do with helping people.
If you ever want to run a business, just have 2 different kinds of babes. That's our tip.
Yeah, babes come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Just make sure your 2 are different.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, we sort of answered that question already, but we can touch on it briefly again.
Yeah, sure.
What do you do when you come out and your parents just pretend you never did? Actually, our answer was,
buy them a book.
Get them this book. The book will tell them that you're not supposed to pretend like it never happened, and it will also give them questions. I just want you to see what's in the circle always. You know, and it doesn't have to be the book. I mean, we have a website called theparentsproject.com. Anything that you can do, like to hand them a resource, is a great way to bring up the conversation again without it being like, oh, I said this thing and now we're not talking about it.
Yeah. And I think that we said this earlier, but, you know, bringing it up again in a way that isn't talking about it. I think Kristin said you can write them a letter and be like, hey, I don't really know how to talk about it. I don't really know what questions you might have, but I'm feeling a little bit like us not talking about it means that you're not okay with it. I just want to make sure that's not the case, you know, because it might also make you equally as uncomfortable if it's all they're talking about. So bringing it up again is totally fine. And they might very well be coming from a place of like, there's no reason for me to bring it up because like it doesn't change anything. So, you know, it's hard. Parents don't have a lot of resources. So we're trying to change that, but they don't have a ton of resources. So you should be a resource for them.
Yeah. What do you think? Should we do one more?
Yes. Wait, we answered that one. Why is it there still?
I don't know. Maybe that person panicked that we weren't going to answer it.
Oh, there's not a way to...
This is us staring at the questions, y'all.
Yeah, sorry. Stay forever. We love you.
I know, like, who's down here?
I know. I want to just see what all of the questions are.
Sorry, everyone. I'll sing a song while Dannielle scrolls.
There you go.
Because I'm all about that bass.
Oh, I love this one. Is this good?
Yes, that's a great one.
Okay, this is a question we've never, ever answered.
Yeah, the question is, I don't know how this video thing's going to work if it's going to show the question.
I don't either,
so we'll read it. We're just going to keep reading them. The last question we'll ask for today's live show, I don't know what this is called, is how should you come out to your parents if you aren't sure of the label you want to use? Oh, that question is so good.
It's so good.
It really is.
I think that, what would I do in that situation? I mean, I think that if it were me and my dad, I would be like, hey, I just want to let you know, I don't know how I identify at all, but there is very well a chance that I could date a girl or a guy, and I just like don't ever want you to be surprised or confused, and I want you to know that like I don't know how I identify, but
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously we don't know exactly what
if you're talking sexuality
or gender identity, but I think that having the conversation about your feelings, and then also tagging onto that the conversation about labels, because to be totally honest with you, I mean, I don't have a label that I even use.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable under any label.
Yeah, the label I feel most comfortable under is queer. And that's because I know that it signals that I am maybe not cisgender heterosexual, but it doesn't pin me down in any particular place. I never liked saying like I'm a lesbian. Now, tons of people are totally comfortable with that, and that's great. But for me, it just never felt completely right. I felt more connected to the label bisexual. Pansexual didn't exist when I was sifting through identities, but bisexual and pansexual fit me a bit more, but still didn't feel quite right. And queer to me is almost like a label-less label, because it can mean so many different things. And so I think that maybe talking about that, I mean, I don't know if that word is comfortable for you, but if it is, talking about that word with your family, and that the way that I like to talk about it is that it brings up so much more conversation. If I say I'm a lesbian to somebody, they're like, oh, so you like girls, period. Like they don't think about it any past that. And I think that's really troublesome when it comes to identity, because I think that identity is very complex and fluid for so many of us. So I think it's possible to have a conversation around those things without pinning yourself down. It's tricky. It is.
It is really, really tricky. And I also think even just being like, just talking about the queer community and like talking about things that are going on and making sure that we always kind of put it on the parents to make sure your home is like very welcoming and warm and open and keeps that dialogue going. But I think that you can give yourself a little credit too. And the more that you talk about things that are going on in the queer community or ways that you feel about the world, or just being like, oh my God, I never in my lifetime thought that North Carolina would be passing marriage equality. Like that's crazy. Just bringing those things up, I think, will give room for your parents to think about it a little more. And then if you either do decide to fall into a category or you don't, it's just like, it's all a lot easier once they know more of what's going on, and once they can expect that you don't have the tiny little picture in their head that you've grown up with them having. I think that's all really good.
Yeah.
Did I say full sentences?
Yeah, I think so. I was watching your face in the screen, and
thank
looked
you.
and sounded good.
Is it weird to watch it because there's a delay?
Yeah, it's a small delay for us.
Yeah, it is.
This has been so much fun.
This has been amazing. And we're also, going on tour in just a few weeks. We're going to 21 cities. And you can check that out on where's the best place to find that? Yeah, you can go to everyoneisgay.com and click on events. They're all listed there. You can see the list of events on the Everyone is Gay Facebook page, or a complete list of detailed events on the Parents Project Facebook page. Yeah.
And I think the short link is bit.ly/familyis-tour.
Yes.
We are quite literally covering 21 cities in 5 weeks.
Yeah, in the US and Canada. So get ready.
Canada for the first time.
We definitely want to do some more Google Hangouts. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I don't know how you find things out. I don't know. Is that a thing? Like neither of us know what this is or what's going to happen.
First one.
So subscribe just in case, and then and we'll put stuff on Twitter and all that.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be doing a couple of these from the road. And what's really fun is that I think that Dannielle and I can do these even when we're not in the same city.
Oh yeah.
So we may be able to make it a regular thing, because this was rad.
Yeah, this was really
totally
cool.
Rad.
It was cool.
So yeah, this is a book for parents of gay kids. The day is National Coming Out Day.
Happy National Coming Out Day.
Happy National Coming Out
oops,
Day.
we never done this question.
Oh, well.
Well.
So we're beginners.
Yeah.
Beginners.
All right.
We're sorry that we didn't get to answer all of your questions, but definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on other social media things because we will be doing this again.
We'll be doing this so much more. This was the best.
Yeah, to those of you who came out today, congratulations. We hope that you are surrounded by love and support. To those of you who aren't ready yet, it's totally cool. You will have a time when you feel ready.
Yeah, and we also love and support you.
Yes, we do.
All right. Have the best day.
Bye.
Bye.